Well, hey everybody, welcome to the update. This is a little update on the scenery, what I did back here behind me. Just basically painted in the rest of my backdrop, filled in with different trees. I'll show you how I kind of did that. I just showing you how I did it. Hope you guys learned something. Maybe it's not the right method to do it, but I thought I'd show it to you and show you what the finished product looked like. Also kind of put technically my first little scene in amongst that foliage in the backdrop. So enjoy the video, watch it, comment, advice, whatever you guys want to do. It's fine with me. Before I do, I'd like to give a few shout outs to a few people. Indian Head Valley Model Railroad, Wilmer. Go check out his channel. It's a great channel. He's a good guy. He needs to get a few more subscribers. BNSF 1982, Lenny, he's got a great channel. I want you to check him out too. He has a live stream. Go check him out as well. And those are a couple channels I wanted to give a shout out to. Also, thanks to Southern 207. As some of you know, I won his contest. So $25 Amazon gift card. I have to figure out what I want to do with it. I've got an idea, but I still haven't decided yet. Something that is going to fit in with the scenery, I think. So once I get to the river scene, and I've got an idea where I want to put it. I think it's something I want to get with it. So I think that'll work for the layout. So guys, as always, hit like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week. Well, I'll pick up where I left off, guys. Basically just still kind of plugging away on this back part here. I did get the static grass applicator to work with a few tips from a couple people, and it really did work. Plus having the batteries in there right, I had them in backwards, which is why it wasn't working. But once I used their tips, got the batteries working, it looks really good. I put some on here. I've since put a little bit of ground clumps in there, some clump foliage in there. Put some little trees along the back there where there were some gaps to fill in. Just some different trees again. Covered some of the brown along the back here that I used on the base. When you do this, your ground foam will stick to the paint, but I always go back, and I did mention this in the last video, I always go back and spray it with isopropyl water mix, and then I put the 50-50 glue water mix on there, and that seals it up. So that should be pretty sealed. It's kind of a little crunchy. It's in there. I did the same thing back here with this. So what I'm planning to do next is work on this background area here so I can start getting trees planted in there. So what I'm going to do is take you through how I plan to do the underbrush first. Then I'm going to paint a few trees on here and use different textures, different colors, because this is going to be a mixed forest over here. And I'm also going to pull some trees out of the corner pieces I have down here, because eventually I'm going to get rid of those, and I'll explain that in a later video. But I'm going to pull some more trees. I've not like I have enough. I have a ton left over from my last layout, which oddly enough was a little bit smaller than this, but I must have used a ton of trees, where I guess this one is more open in areas like my yard and my industrial area will have very few trees in it. Very few. So most of them are going to be in this area and probably at the end area. So that's what I'm going to do now. So stay tuned, guys, and I'll show you that. Alrighty, guys, what I'm doing here is painting along the background here. And what I'm going to do first is go along. I've got my different brushes I'm going to use, and then I also have isopropyl water, have my very expensive palettes, some browns, some different greens, then I have a little bit lighter green and a little bit yellow. I'll show you what I'm going to do with those here in a little bit. So let me find my footing, because I'm actually up here on top of my layout, which I don't want to be, but in the corner is the only part where I have to get up. I'm going to take first and paint, probably going to paint some trees first. I'm just going to paint the trunks. So I'm going to take this very thin brush here and get a little bit of put my Play-Doh there, get a little bit of the brown on it, And like here we're going to have a mixture of trees. This brown over here is okay because I'm going to cover this up with the underbrush color and some other techniques I want to use. But we're going to start with some pine trees. So I just kind of lightly paint on a trunk, and basically I'm literally just light brushing this on. So we're going to start with that technique and different sizes. And of course I'm going to move this back behind me, and I hope I don't spill it. Okay, so there's a short one. Now I want to maybe a little bit of a long. Here I'm going to leave a little bit of an opening because I want this to kind of be a trail to the track, because I've got an idea in a couple of these low line areas what I want to do. So I'm kind of going to leave this open, but I will have some brush back behind here. So we're going to have a smaller pine tree. So now I want to space this out, and I want to go a little bit, and if it's crooked that's okay because that's how it's going to look in nature anyway. So get a little bit more light on here. And this trunk you'll see, but it won't be too bad because it's going to be covered up. So in these sections I'll kind of put 3 pine trees. So this is kind of a light brush too as well. There's kind of a light trunk in there too, a little bit smaller than the other ones, you can kind of see. So now maybe in here I want to do a little bit different tree, so we're going to go a little bit thicker, and I'm going to have some different kind of branches in here, maybe like this, where you're going to see some branches in here. Because that's going to be, let me grab a tree out of here to kind of give myself an idea. I think these are, I guess, what I would consider medium trees. So you can kind of see the difference there. So this is kind of what I'm going to do along this backdrop. So I'm going to continue with this, and I'll bring you back and I'll show you what it looks like before I put on the foliage and all that stuff. So hang on. Okay, so I'm showing you guys as I kind of did this. I put some underbrush in there, but then I just decided I'm going to film this as I'm kind of going to do. I'm just going to do this little section here and show you how I do this. So here we go. I'm just basically Bob Rossing this. Happy trees. Always happy trees. I should whisper like him too, but then you wouldn't really be able to hear me because I'm already in the corner and the camera's way back there. So I'm just kind of still stippling on like some little background trees back here. I do want some blue back behind there because these are back in the background. Okay, so I think this looks pretty good. So now what I'm gonna do is continue on, paint my pine tree, which is easy. This will be a little bit bigger one, so I'm gonna start right here and just kind of fill in the shape of a pine tree and down to here. It kind of blends in with this background back here. I may make this just a tad bit darker right here because it kind of looks like that in there. You kind of get some different greens in there too, so kind of blend in the green as well. Maybe also blend in a little different green along this underbrush or backdrop where there might be different trees back there. I need to continue on doing this too. So right here is actually where I'll kind of do that. Now here I'm going to light brush because I still want you to see like there's trees back here if I don't put underbrush up against the backdrop. Okay, now these trees are going to be different, and this is where I'm going to bring in some of the different colors once I kind of stipple these on. There's nothing wrong with the stippling technique. So you can kind of see I'm leaving the trunks open, and I'm going to add some colors to this. I may cover up the trunk a little bit in some spots. You're going to have trees along back here too that are going to blend this in as well. So it's not going to be too bad. put a little bit more dark colors in here as well. So for some shadowing. And now I might just take a little bit of my yellow, just a shade bit of my yellow in here and kind of, see that, just stipple in some yellow amongst these trees. And I might just put a little bit of my yellow in amongst this underbrush. This is actually turning out very well. I don't know how it shows up on camera. You probably don't hear me very well because I'm kind of far away from the mic. Apologize about that, but so I'm going to continue on, and that's how I'm kind of doing it. I wanted to just show you this part, so I'm going to continue on. I'm going to do this up to here, and then I'll bring you back and I'll show you the finished product. I may go this far. We'll see how far I get, and if I get this far, I'll go and continue and do what I want to put down in here as far as the underbrush goes, and then I'll show you that finished product before I put the trees and brush up against it. So stay tuned, guys. Okay, so I'm kind of done here I put in some different kind of trees back here, light colors in the background, some other pines off in the background, did my trunks throughout there, stippled. I'd probably maybe going to put a big pine tree back there in the corner to hide the corner back there, or you may not even really notice. Did some more pines in here, and these are just a mixture of trees. There are some light trunks, along with mixture of the coarse yellow colors and different greens in there to mix up the foliage. Because I'm going to mix it as well with my trees, I'm going to try to get lighter and darker. So my next step now, guys, is to put my trees in there and decide where they go and how I'm going to do that. I think we'll be fine. I'm going to leave a little opening here in the forest for maybe my first scene here if I get rolling on it here. So stay tuned. I'm going to put in some trees and we're going to come back and we're going to see what it looks like mixed in with trees. Well, okay guys, this concludes this update. I just basically did this little background part here. Got in my trees. Let me move my glue bottle here. Put in a mixture of trees, mixed it up along with the backdrop trees that are painted on there, mix them up, some open spots like I wanted to so you could still see the rock in there. That was part of it. Also, I got my first scene. See if we can get in here on it. Oh, there it is. There's my little campers in the woods. Hope that's not too blurry. So that's my little woodland scenes. Had that on my last layout. I thought that's an awesome little clearing for them. So my first scene really kept the trees spaced out nicely. I think some big ones, small ones, different colors. So just kind of mixed it up like you'd see in nature. So that is what I've done so far. Get you a better look. I'll come back here a little bit, and that's what I've got. I have to clear up, of course, a lot of this, clean it up, vacuum along the track. This part here, I will put some little shrubs and more trees in there. I'm going to wait to do that once I ballast this Kato Unitrack, which I'll do on the sides only. I won't really do the middle. I've got some stuff that match the roadbed. So once I kind of do that, then I'll put in some little shrubs and trees along this front part here, and that'll kind of really finish this back part, and then I can come forward with it. So that's what I've done. That's it for this update, which is of course all scenery again. So I hope that turned out okay with showing you how I painted that on. So like, hit subscribe. As always, thanks for watching. See you in the next update, and catch you guys sometime this week.